My name is Dr. Rutkowski, and I am an ER physician and co-founder of Cure CMD. I am here today to share 3 important tips with you about how to survive this year's winter season or flu season. The first tip is if you or a family member, a child or an adult, has a neuromuscular condition, it is important that you possess a very simple piece of equipment in your home, and this is called a pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter can be purchased online or in a drugstore, and it gives you 2 important pieces of information. The first is your heart rate, and the second is your oxygen level. I want you mainly to focus on the oxygen level. So let's look at how you use the pulse oximeter. You press the button to turn it on, and then you put it on the finger. Often you have to turn the finger around in order to see what the pulse oximeter reading is if you're doing it for yourself. It takes a little bit of time for it to actually get a good reading. So if you can see my pulse ox reading, my oxygen level is 99%. That is the number on the bottom. My heart rate is on the top. This is the number I want you to focus on. Okay, so a normal pulse ox is greater than 97%. If your number is less than 94% or less, it is important for you to start an intervention. There are 2 interventions that you can start at home, and the third is to go to the hospital. The most important thing for you to realize is the way to combat a low oxygen level is not to first give oxygen. So the first intervention that you can do at home is to try and help that person generate a good cough. That can be done either by using a machine called a cough assist or a mechanical insufflator, or to do breath stacking using an ambu bag with or without an assisted cough. I'm going to show you how the cough assist works first. This is a cough assist that can be set either in manual or an automatic mode. And the mode, as well as the pressure that you go up to, is set by your pulmonologist, your breathing specialist, your physiatrist. I'm going to show you quickly and briefly how the cough assist can be used. The cough assist can either be used by giving 3 repetitions of 5 positive breaths, or 3 repetitions of positive negative breaths followed by a positive breath. So here I'm going to first show you 5 positive breaths. Positive breath, and this of course is all over the person's face. One other important piece of information is the cough assist can either be used with a face mask. This is an adult one. There's also one for children. Or it can be used with a mouthpiece that the person holds in their mouth. So you can either do a positive breath, timed with the person's inhalation, let them exhale. A positive breath, timed with the person's inhalation, exhale. Positive breath, let the person exhale. Positive breath, let the person exhale. Positive breath, let the person exhale. Or you can do positive, negative pressure, pause. Positive, negative pressure, pause. Positive, negative pressure, pause. Positive, negative pressure, and then you always want to end with just a positive pressure breath. So the cough assist is one way of giving a person volume and helping them generate a cough. The second way you can actually give a person volume is to use something that is called a resuscitation bag or an ambu bag that has been modified. Normally when this bag is used in an emergency department to resuscitate, it is attached to oxygen. Notice that this bag is not attached to oxygen. In order to modify it, to use it for breath stacking, which is how you give somebody positive pressure breaths or volume, you have to remove the pop-off valve and either insert a one-way valve or you can use a PEEP valve that's dialed all the way up. You then would hold the face mask to the person's face, and either that person themselves or the person who's assisting them, and this can also be done with some short flexible tubing attached to a mouthpiece, you give them a positive breath, and then that person has to learn how to swallow that breath and hold it in with a closed glottis. Then you give them a second positive breath, they swallow that too, and as you can imagine, that's increasing the volume in their lungs. At that point, either you can ask them to try to cough or you can help them assist their cough. And some people can tolerate up to 3 breaths stacked. This requires some practice and coordination. The third way that you can combat a low oxygen level is if you already are on BiPAP or use a ventilator, to go on your BiPAP or your ventilator. The reasons, the 3 reasons why a person's oxygen level falls, if the person has a neuromuscular condition and is sick, is because either, number one, their volumes are low, so part of their lung tissue has become compressed. The second is that they have a lot of mucus that's built up in their lungs as a result of the infection. Or 3, they actually have a chest infection or pneumonia. So again, just to summarize, a pulse ox is a handy piece of equipment that every family with a neuromuscular condition should have in their house. The number that you're looking at is the oxygen level. If the oxygen level is less than 94%, there are 2 interventions that can be done in the house. The first is to try and help that person generate a good cough, and that is done using either the cough assist machine or doing breath stacking with a modified resuscitation bag or a modified ambu bag. This is now no longer to be used for resuscitation, just for breath stacking. And the third is to go on your BiPAP or your ventilator throughout the day and the night. With all of those interventions, you should see the oxygen level go back up, but if it doesn't, then it is time to call your doctor or to go into the nearest emergency department. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that you get through this flu season in a healthy way.